Welcome to episode number 4, the fourth episode of Inside Sport on Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyles. I'm your host, Rashad Mitchell. It's a new show for a new month of June. We're in June right now. Obviously, the show started back on May 16th, so this show is definitely moving forward in the right direction. Shout out to all the listeners that tune in, especially on Facebook, where the show is streamed live and other platforms like Twitter, obviously Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Other platforms, but I really saw the stats that took place on Facebook. And I was very pleased. Over 100, like 700 people, over 700 people tuned in last Thursday. So I appreciate the support. Let's get into it, man. Not gonna hold you for long. Obviously, got to start with the NBA Finals, which is going on right now. Preview and make my predictions of who I think is gonna win the NBA Finals. But first and foremost, let's get into the latest score in this NBA Finals, which started a half hour ago, a little after 8:30. In the right now it's the end of the first quarter, and the Celtics are playing like a champion. Want to play, supposed to play. They're winning 37-20. So there's no rustiness with the Celtics team. Obviously, Kristaps Porzingis is back. That's a huge situation because he's a guy that can be a rim protector. Obviously, to score, he has that length and size to the table. When you look at Kristaps Porzingis, he brings a lot of dynamics to his game for us guarding the points in the paint. Because when you look at Dallas was very successful against Minnesota's defense with Eric Lively II and um, Daniel Gafford. They was able to get easy lobs and dunks and easy layups because of the pick and roll offense that they ran through Doncic, and they was able to have success with that screen and roll and pick and roll. So they was able to have success, get easy layups. So now with Porzingis back in the lineup, now it's going to be a tough situation for them to score inside the paint because of his size and his rim protection ability. So right now it's 37-20. It's the end of the first quarter. So it's off to a great start. They're looking very good right now. Porzingis is the difference maker, man. He has 11 points, 3 rebounds, 4 or 5 from the field, 1 for 2. So he's their leading scorer. It's not Tatum. Tatum's been more of a facilitator so far in this game. In this first quarter, he had 3 assists in the first quarter, 4 rebounds, and three points. So he's not trying to find a shot. And that's what you gotta do. You don't have to be in attack mode because this team is so talented, so deep. You don't have to come out and attack. So he has 3 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 3-point shot, 1 for 2 from the field. But Porzingis definitely handling his business. 11 points. He's the high man overall in this game. Luka Doncic has 7 points, 3 of 7 shooting. But the Celtics are looking very good right now. 37-20. Look very razor sharp. And despite being off for mostly the whole week last week, they played their last game on Memorial Day. They've been able to be truly fresh and looking good in the first quarter. Let's look at the team stats so far. The Celtics shot 56.5% from the field, 13 of 23 from the field. Obviously, going to be 3 point happy, and they looking very good from the 3 point range. They have 7 to 15 from the three, shooting 46.7% from three. While the Dallas Mavericks didn't shoot the ball particularly well, 9 for 24 from the field, 37.5% from the field, 2 of 8 from three, shooting 25%. So they don't look good as far as shooting the ball. The Celtics have gone to the line 4 times, made 4 free throws. They definitely out rebounding the Dallas Mavericks 16-6 advantage. They got 4 offensive rebounds to 2 and 12 defensive rebounds. So it's all Celtics right now in the first quarter, looking very good despite the long layoff. They're looking very good. They lead 37-20. So see what happens with the Mavericks, how they bounce back from a 17-point deficit. The Celtics are hungry. They're hungry for a championship. Now points in the paint, it's a dead even situation. It's 10-10. Fast break points. The Celtics are ahead 8-4, and they got the largest lead of the game, 17 points. So see how the Mavericks bounce back. Kyrie Irving is got 4 points, 2 of 5 from the field. Um, Jalen Brown has 4 points. The White has 6 points, but Porzingis coming off the bench in his return from that calf injury is getting it done. I'm kind of surprised that he was coming off the bench, but looks very good. Looks very sharp. 11 points, 3 rebounds. So he's doing his thing. So 37-20. Second quarter just started. 11:38 to go. So keep you posted during this show about the score. When you look at this NBA Finals, man, I just think the Celtics are gonna win the series in seven. I just think that it's their year. They're 64-18 during the regular season. This is their time. This is their time to get it done. Look at the Dallas Mavericks. They had a great year. You're a Dallas Mavericks fan. You can't hold your head because um, if they lose this series, obviously you want to see your team win if you're a Dallas Mavericks fan. But at the same time, this is the year where they're not going to be denied the Celtics. They're on a mission. They're focused. They're locked in. I think they're going to get it done. It's going to be go 7 games in my eyes. And I think it's going to be, an interesting series moving forward. So right now they're leading big by double digits, but I just think when you look at the series, yes, the storyline is going to be how you going to stop Luka Doncic, how you going to stop that backcourt with Doncic and Kyrie Irving, but how you going to stop Tatum and Brown? Now, so far, Tatum is being a facilitator. He's getting his teammates involved. He's doing the other things, but he's definitely going to be dangerous for scoring. But also, they got so many guys outside of Tatum and Brown, like Porzingis, he's back. He got 11 points. And then when you look at in the first quarter, he had 11 points. You got Derek White, you got Drew Holiday, you got Horford. Those guys can score. They can put up, a lot of points in bunches. So they're a better all-around team, talent-wise, than the Dallas Mavericks are. I mean, in order for the Dallas Mavericks to win, yes, you need Doncic, you need Irving to do their thing. But at the same time, Derek Lively the second, Daniel Gafford, they gotta be, the X factors. Or PJ Washington, they gotta make a contribution. So it cannot be just a two-man game, two against, eight, two against five. The other guys gotta step up in this setting. I just don't see it happening. I think it's gonna be a long series, but I got the Celtics winning the series. There's a lot of factors in this series, a lot of storylines again. Kyrie Irving coming back to Boston, and things didn't go well while he was in Boston. He was Boston Celtic, so he's coming back to where he used to play at in these NBA Finals, and that makes this series worthwhile worth watching. Because Doncic, this is his first NBA Finals. He's a great player, always in the All American, always on the All NBA team. I think he's been on it like 5 times the last 6 years. So he's a guy that just definitely knows how to play at a high level as a player. He's a top 5 player. He can do it all. He can shoot that step back three. He's a facilitator. He's guaranteed a triple double. He has 8 triple doubles in 42 playoff games in his playoff career. So he's a guy that can not just score, but he also can rebound. Also, he can get his teammates involved as well. So he's willing to share the basketball and not be selfish or selfless with his passing ability. So you got to take that into account when you look at this Dallas team with Luka Doncic on it. But I just think the Celtics are going to win. It's their year to win the 18th championship. If not now, win. This is a franchise that has gone to 6 Eastern Conference Finals in the last 8 years, but no championships to show for it. They got uh, 2 NBA Finals appearances. They lost to Golden State a couple years ago. Can they redeem themselves this year? I think they will. I think they're going to get it done. So that's the way I see it right now. So let's look at the score right now. Right now, it's 44-26 in favor of the Celtics. They're cruising right now, lead by 18 points, looking razor sharp. I mean, very impressive for a team that's been off for such a long time. They're looking very, very good right now, razor sharp. Again, the high man is Kristaps Porzingis, 11 points coming off the bench. So it's 44-26 lead with 9:20 to go in the second quarter. It's right now, it's a rout in favor of the Celtics. But again, Luka Doncic is definitely a guy that's a playmaker that can get it done in so many ways. He's capable of getting a triple double. He's capable of getting it done because his ability to facilitate. And when you have a guy that can facilitate, you're always gonna have a chance to win with a great player of his magnitude. And last week, when I was on the air last Thursday, they won 124 to 103. Luka Doncic had 36 points as they won the Western Conference Championship, beating Minnesota, and they was able to move on to the next round. Doncic had 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 36 points. But did see something that where he got 8, he got a triple double after game 3. See that? Yeah, so he had eight triple doubles in his career. We looked that up. So I want to be accurate on this show, Inside Sports with Rashad. So I want to be accurate with that. How many triple doubles he has in his career in the playoffs? In the playoffs alone. Okay, he has 9 triple doubles in the playoffs in his career. Not eight, nine, 9 triple doubles. So he's in ninth place on the all-time list for a triple double. So he's an all-around player. He's great at what he does. But again, you're gonna need PJ Washington to step up. You're gonna need Daniel Gafford to step up. Derek Riley the second. Those are the X factors. Because you know the headline is gonna be, you know, Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic as a backcourt. They're gonna try to score, 30 plus points. But what about the other guys? The other guys got to step up. The role players got, step up and be that supporting cast around those stars that Dallas Mavericks have. So we're gonna see how Dallas Mavericks pan out in the series. But right now, things don't look good. They're losing right now, big, by double digits. See what the score is right now. Get the score 44-27. So that's the score right now, 44-27. Just a dominant performance by the Celtics. So they're looking good right now early in this game. Okay, so I just think it's going to be a great series. I think it's going to be a very competitive series. Even if Dallas loses this game, they just got to get one game in Boston and try to make this a competitive series throughout. So even if they lose tonight, they know they got to get game number two. I believe this game going to be on Sunday, on June 9th. So a lot of basketball we played. But I think it's the year of the Celtics, man. They got so much talent. Yeah, obviously you want to keep your eyes on who's going to guard Luka Doncic. Obviously, you should see Derek White guard him. Also, obviously, see Drew Holiday guard Kyrie Irving. The thing about White and Holiday, they were on the all defensive team this year. I think second team all defensive. Well, yeah, second team all defensive team. So you got a great matchup between those guys, Holiday and Irving, and you got Doncic guarded by White. So you got big time defensive players guarding that backcourt of Irving and Doncic. So we're gonna see how that goes as far as that is concerned. But I love the Celtics. Celtics are on a mission. They got a lot of overall depth. They got a lot of firepower overall outside of Tatum and outside of Brown. I just think they're gonna win the series in seven. And the NBA needs it. NBA needs a game seven because the conference finals was very anticlimactic. I mean, you had a sweep with Boston over Indiana, and then you had a 5-game series between Dallas and Minnesota. There was no drama was the extension of the series. Both series didn't go 6, 7 games. So I think for the casual fan, you want to see a 7-game series. Now, if you're a fan of Dallas or a fan of Boston, obviously you want to see a quick series or no easy series where they're just cruising to victory like the way the Celtics are playing right now. They're doing their thing. Give you another score update. 46-27. So it's a 19-point lead with 6:53 to go. So Celtics are not letting up. And Porzingis scored again. So he has 13 points. So he's playing well, man, despite having that injury, the calf injury, man. And then he scores again. He hits an 18-foot pull-up jump shot, and he scores again. And now they up by 21 points. That's the largest lead of the game, 48-27. So they looking good right now. So they up by 21 points. They got 15 points coming off the bench. So hey, this is what it's about. This is what you envision as a Boston Celtics fan to see this team healthy and complete and whole. And now you see the difference when you get Porzingis in this line because he does a lot of scoring. He does a lot on defense. He rim to protects. He does it all. So now you got him scoring a lot of points. And now they up by 21 points, 48-27. Right now is Dallas Mavericks calls for time with 6:29 to go in the second quarter, so it's a timeout. Dominant performance by the Celtics, so that's all need to be said. So I like to say I got the Celtics winning by winning in 7 games. Despite what happens tonight, all thing Dallas gotta do is just get game two, get a split, go back to Dallas for game three, see what happens with that. So I think it's gonna be a long series despite what's happening tonight. Okay, so that's it for that. Another news in NBA news, we have Danny Hurley. Question is, will he be going to the Los Angeles Lakers? I don't agree with it. I think he should stay with what he's doing at Connecticut. You got a chance to have a burgeoning dynasty from that perspective. And I think from that perspective, you have to have a mindset to understand that at the end of the day, you gotta have to understand that Connecticut is a special situation. You got a chance to win your third national championship for the first time since the John Wooden UCLA Bruins did it in the late '60s, early '70s. When they won seven straight. So again, money talks. Obviously, Lakers trying to go after him. They're trying to make sure that he becomes a Laker, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get into talks with him to see if he accept their offer of what they want him to have, so he can become a Lakers coach. And the Lakers have been struggling for us to try to find continuity for as the head coach because when you look at this Lakers since 2010, they've had 7 different head coaches. So there's no stability ever since Phil Jackson left. Mike Brown, you got the Mike D'Antonis, Bernie Bickerstaff, uh, obviously Darvin Ham, obviously Frank Vogel. Yes, he won a championship during the bubble season, but so much changes with these coaches. So I think the Lakers they're trying to see if Danny Hurley be the guy that's going to bring stability and a longevity aspect, as far as making sure that you have a guy that's going to be there for the long haul. But the problem is that you got LeBron James who's going to be 40 years old in December, and you got Anthony Davis who's in his early 30s. I'm saying you're coaching two superstars that are past their prime, and is LeBron James coachable? I mean, the thing about LeBron James is that when things go wrong, it's always the coach that gets the raw deal and becomes the fall guy. So that's the thing that you got to take into account when you look at this situation with Danny Hurley. I think it's a bad decision if he goes to LA. Yes, matters and the glitz and glamour of LA, but when you have a burgeoning dynasty on the rise at Connecticut, you won 2 in a row. You want to go for that third. We'll see. And I think the Lakers did a poor job as always to put this out, on the day of the NBA Finals. The Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics should have the limelight, as far as in the NBA world, have all the attention on them. It shouldn't be on anything else. You know what I'm saying? With the Lakers and their talks, I mean, with trying to upstate the Celtics. I understand the Lakers themselves are a robbery, but you cannot have that. You're going to have, Dallas and Boston have their shine for tonight, for this day. This is the first game of the NBA Finals, the long-awaited NBA Finals situation because of all the layoff that these two teams have dealt with, especially the Celtics. You starting from basketball to be watched, and to have this news come out about Hurley possibly going to the Lakers, I think the timing is not good. So to me, I just don't think it's a good idea for Hurley to go and set this job as a Laker head coach, because you're not winning a championship. The Western Conference is tough. You got OKC, Oklahoma City Thunder, you got Dallas Mavericks, you got the Minnesota Timberwolves. Those teams aren't going nowhere. They're going to be in the mix. Then you got the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? You have obviously Denver Nuggets. They're going to be back to try to claim their crown and win it again. So it's a very tough conference. Golden State may have something left in them. I think it's over with them. They'll run the championships, but Sacramento Kings, I'm saying, it's a tough conference. So there's no guarantee because he becomes the head coach of the Lakers now. Wow, they're going to win the championship next year. No. College basketball is different from the NBA. Now, there's different dynamics when you go from college to the pros because as a college basketball head coach, you don't have to deal with the NIL deals. You don't have to deal with transfer portals where players are not staying put at one school. You have to deal with that dynamic. You go and coach, guys that are already, millionaires, got millionaire contracts. So that's the difference. He takes this job, you don't have to deal with NIL. You don't have to deal with that kind of situation. So I think that's a plus. Or you be able to not have to deal with guys transferring. But at the same time, you got an agent LeBron James. Still sure he can still play this game. But at the same time, he's turning 40 this coming December. Or Sunday gonna win a championship because they got Danny Hurley. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't think it's a good idea for him to leave. And that's the thing about it. Yes, they need stability. He'd be a good fit for us like long term after LeBron leaves. But how about moving forward without LeBron James? How they gonna do without him? Because he's gonna eventually have to leave. Then you got Davis, Anthony Davis. That's it. So that's the thing you gotta take a look at. Also, Byron Scott was the coach of the Lakers since 2010. So all these coaching changes, yes, the Lakers need a good hire. They need that. But at the same time, they've been struggling to find stability with these coaches. Luke Walton. So let's look at the update scores on the Celtics and the Lakers and the Celtics. Right now, it's 58 to 31. Eventually had a 58-29 lead as Jason Tatum hit a three. Man, this is a rout, man. This is being very, very ugly for Dallas Mavericks. The high man still is Porzingis has 15 points off the bench. They up by 27, 58 to 31, 3:44 to go. So this just been all Celtics. I mean, I'm just impressed with the Celtics, man. They're just coming out so sharp, after being, off, you know, all that time, mostly all week. And for them to play like that, be razor sharp is just, impressive. So that's all that needs to be said about that. Like I said, I think Dan Hurley should not go to the Lakers. I think he should stay with Connecticut and continue with this building block of being a dynasty, seem to be on the verge of making it three in a row. In today's college basketball, where you got the NIL deals, you got the transport, you're still able to put together, championship teams year in year out. I think that's more of a challenge, more of a more interest, more of a bigger story than going to the Lakers because you got Asian players, you got Asian LeBron James. Anthony Davis is going to be what 32, 31, something like that this year. Training camp stuff. Let's see how old Anthony Davis is. Okay, he's 31. But again, he's past his prime. He had a very good season, 24.7 points a game, 12.6 rebounds a game, 3.5 assists, shot 55.6 percent from the field. But again, he's past 30. LeBron's gonna be 40 in December. He's 39. So you coaching players that's in their 30s past their prime. So I just think it's a bad idea to me. But again, I can see what they're trying to do. They was trying to get some stability because they had so many coaching changes, and they want to find somebody that's going to be there for the long haul. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at since Phil Jackson left, I'm looking at it right now. You had Darvin Ham, he got fired. Frank Vogel, he was there for what 3 seasons? He got fired. Luke Walton was there for 3 seasons. He got fired. Byron Scott, Mike D'Antoni, only there for 1 season, 2 seasons. Bickerstaff was there only for 2013. Mike Brown was only there for 2012, 2013. That was it. Phil Jackson came back in 2006, left after 2011, but hasn't been no stability. I'm saying like since we look at Phil Jackson, he was only there from 2000 2004, then he left. So he wasn't a long term coach of the Lakers like less than like 4 or 5 seasons. I mean, you gotta go back to Pat Riley. The last time, the Lakers had some stability at the head coaching position. Now again, that's the Showtime Lakers. You know what I'm saying? You got Riley and you got him and those players on Showtime. 1982, 1990. But since then you got Mike Dunleavy. He was there from 91 to 92. Then Randy Funn, 93, 94. Then Magic Johnson. Believe it or not, Magic Johnson, I remember that. He coached the Lakers. That was a disaster. He coached. They was 5-11 when he became the coach. So when you look at these Lakers, they have not had stability at the coaching position. since Phil Jackson, but he was only there for like 4 seasons, 5 seasons, 2000, 2004, 2006, 2011. Successful, yes, but not being there for 8 years, 8, 9 seasons like Pat Riley. From 1982 to 1990, he was there the longest. Since then, it's been guys just coming and going. Dale Harris, 1995, 1999. Bill Burker, even Kurt Rambis was coaching. Lee Tanyanovich, Frank Hamlin. You know what I'm saying? Just no stability. All these different coaching changes. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 coaches, different coaches since Phil Jackson left. So they need somebody that's a proven winner, and they got that. Yeah, you're gonna get that in Hurley. But the thing is, can you coach LeBron James? Is he coachable? When things don't go right, when there's adversity, can he handle that? Hurley. You're gonna see. So that's storyline on that. So that's it for that. Next on the docket, let's get into remembering Larry Allen. Larry Allen passed away this week. The former Dallas Cowboy, San Francisco 49ers. He's always been a Cowboy, a 6-time All-Pro, 11-time Pro Bowler. Maybe have been the greatest offensive lineman ever. When you look at all his accomplishments coming out in 1994, being drafted. Let me see what college he went to. Played 14 seasons. He went to Sonoma State. Yes, Sonoma State and some other college named but Sonoma State, 1992, 1993. That's where he was at when he got drafted. Sonoma State, not big time, college, and played 14 seasons. Was selected in the second round. He may have been the strongest player ever because he could bench press a lot of weight, and he was fast. There was a game against the New Orleans Saints on Monday night where he tackled somebody that got an interception from behind. And he tackled him. This guy was big, 6'3", weighed 325 pounds. I don't know if that was his playing weight at the time, but it was going by what I see. But he was a 6-time All-Pro from 1996 to 2001. So he didn't really come into his own in a sense until 96. And 95. I feel like that, 95. That's the year that the Cowboys won this Super Bowl, the last Super Bowl. So that's where he was dominant. 11-time Pro Bowler, second team All-Pro his second year. But 96 to 2001, he was the best all-decade team in the 90s, all-decade team in the 2000s, all 100th anniversary all-time team. It's outstanding. You know what I'm saying? Just consistent, excellent, how he played the game of football. And that's what made him what he was as a dominant offensive lineman. And again, those Cowboys offensive linemen was the best I've ever seen. They were like the Great Wall of Dallas, man. Mark Tooney, Mark Stepnoski, Kevin Gogan, Eric Williams. This guy comes in and does his thing. They're just so dominant. And that's the thing about it. When you look at his passing, it shows you how Ray Downson was a big time player with them. But when we look at Allen, he was such a big guy. He knew what it took to pass protect, Troy Aikman to pass protect, Emmitt Smith, run block Emmitt Smith, excuse me. He knew how to get it done. He played any position on that offensive line, whether it be guard, tackle, maybe center. But he was so great at run blocking, just being a dominant player, protecting Troy Aikman's blind side at left tackle. Also, it says right here, Allen became just the third player in league history to be selected to the Pro Bowl at more than one offensive line position, and Pierce voted him to NFC Pro Bowl team at tackle. I'm saying he's part of the offensive line. This is in '98 that only allowed 19 sacks. I'm saying he was just a great, great player and what he did on the offensive line. And it shows you again, he points up offensive line because, yes, look at offensive linemen. They are very unglamorous because you got 100-plus fat guys blocking. So that's not a sexy thing. That's not an attractive thing to watch. But without the offensive line, the quarterback cannot throw effectively. The running back cannot run effectively. So the offensive line is definitely the most important position on the offense. You can make the case. Yes, the quarterback gonna get the accolades and stuff like that. But at the same time, what about the offensive line? The offensive line does not block, pass protect. Nothing gonna go right with the quarterback. He's gonna be running for his life. He's gonna be on his backside. So that Larry Allen represented was excellence at the position. He won also the strongest man award in Honolulu in at the Pro Bowl. I don't know what year that was. Yeah, in 2006. He bench pressed 43 reps with 225 pounds. So I think he could bench press, I think 700 pounds, something like that. For his bench presses. He's very strong and fast for a big guy. Yeah, he bench pressed 700 pounds. That's what he did. Bench press 700 pounds. That's strong, man. That's unbelievably strong. Bench press 700 pounds. He's bench press 225 pounds 43 times. Maybe the strongest offensive lineman ever, maybe the strongest football player ever, as far as the strength that he had. It's just amazing. So rest in peace to the one and only Larry Allen. Epitomizes what the points of offensive lineman is, where you need to pass protect. You gotta have a Larry Allen on your offensive line. If you want to have an Emmitt Smith or any running back, you need a guy like Larry Allen to run block for you. That's what he represents, man. The importance of the offensive line is very important because it starts up front in the trenches. Same thing with the defensive lineman. Like without the defensive lineman, linebackers cannot roam from sideline to sideline and make tackles. You look at the Steel Curtain defense in the '70s. Had me Joe Green. They had L.C. Greenwood, Ernie Holmes, guys like that. Without them, Jack Lambert, Jack Ham, they can't roam around. You know what I'm saying? You can't take away what they did. They're in the trenches. So let's be Larry Allen. Okay, let's get the score with the Celtics right now. The Celtics are rolling along. This is a route 63-42, 21 points. So they doing it, man. The Celtics look very, very good. And the high man is Porzingis, man. Porzingis has 18 points, 7-9 from the field. This is an amazing story, man. Amazing. Luka Doncic got 17 points. Irvin is not playing well. He has 6 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. So they're not getting it from him, Dallas. That's how they gotta win. They gotta win the series. They gotta have Doncic and Irvin clicking at the same time. One guy cannot have it going because they need those guys to do so much because they don't have that much talent compared to what the Celtics got. Because you got Porzingis coming off the bench with 18 points. Jalen Brown got 13 points. Derek White has 8. Overall got 5, and Tatum only got 8 points, but he don't have to do so much because he got so much talent around him. He just being facilitated. He got 3 assists, 6 rebounds. So he's doing the other things. 3 of 8 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. But the Celtics are looking very, very sharp despite the long layoff since Memorial Day, and they're playing at a higher level. So that's just very impressive. For Dallas, then we got one guy in double figures. Larry II not doing anything. He has not scored. Gafford got 4 points. So you're not going to win like that. 3 of 13 from 3, 23.1%. The Celtics are shooting 40.7%. That's what they do best, shoot threes. They're 11 for 27 from 3. So they're on pace probably to make, 23s. So this is a route in favor of the Celtics. All right, so let's storyline that. Let's get to some baseball. Let's get into some baseball. Major League Baseball recap. Let's get into that. I'm definitely end at 10 o'clock. Let's look into some baseball. The Yankees are playing very well. I mean, the Yankees are playing well. Uh, the Phillies are playing well. I see we got the best record in baseball. Both the Phillies and the Yankees got the same record. They tied for the best record in baseball. Maybe that might be the World Series this year. But the Yankees are red hot right now. They've won 7 in a row. They're playing at a high level. They're playing well at home. They got a 4 game lead over Baltimore, was 39-22. Yankees are 44-19. The Red Sox are at 500, along with Tampa Bay, 31-31. And the Toronto's 30-32. So in the American League Central Division, Cleveland's looking very good. They may be, one surprising teams. I mean, who thought they'd be 40-21 after 61 games being played? Kansas City's 37-26. Who thought that? Minnesota's 33-28. Detroit is 31-31, and the White Sox have lost 13 straight. They are 15-47. Let's look at the American League West. Seattle Mariners 36-28. The Texas Rangers are 30-20, 30-32. Houston is 7 games under 500. They've been struggling all year. I mean, what happened to the Houston Astros? Um, Philadelphia in the National League, they're 44-19. They got the best record in the National League. They got 7.5 game cushion over Atlanta, so looks like they're gonna win that division. I don't see them being threatened unless Atlanta gets on a great road. The Mets are 27-35, Washington are 27-35, and Miami's 21-41. The Central Division in the National League, you got Milwaukee 36-26, and Cubs are at 500, 31-31. St. Louis is 29-31. Pittsburgh is 29-32. 29-33 for Cincinnati. In the National League West, you got the Dodgers, who are 38-25. And Padres lost 4 in a row. They're 32-33. But Dodgers got cushion. They're up 7 games in the division in the National League West. No surprise there. The Giants are 30-33. And Arizona's 29-33. And Colorado's 21-40. But the two best teams, man, maybe on collision course, there's a long way to go here in June. The Yankees and the Phillies are tied for the best record in baseball at 44-19. Look at the batting average leaders. Got Profar for the Padres, Jurickson Profar. He's hitting 323. That's the best right now. Aaron Judge has 21 home runs. He leads the major leagues. Runs batted in, Ramirez of Cleveland, Jose Ramirez. He has 60 RBIs. Luis Arias, 86 hits. Ellie De La Cruz has 32 stolen bases. Lugo and Suarez as the best tie for the 9 wins. Seth Lugo, he has 9 wins, and Ranger Suarez has 9 wins, 9-1 with 1.70 ERA. That's the best in baseball as far as the ERA is concerned. Most saves is Ryan Helsley. He has 20 saves. And Glasnow, he has the most strikeouts so far, 104. All right, so that's it for the baseball. Let's get into the Pete Rose book. I've been reading some excerpts since I've been doing the show. Last I think I started reading it last week. Either way, I've been reading this book about Pete Rose. I don't think I'm gonna read the whole book because I want to bounce around, read some other books to fill the void for the show. So let's get to chapter 14. Resume with chapter 14. Let's get into that. Now, in this chapter, basically, it talks about Carolyn Ann Englehart didn't know the first thing about baseball, the Reds, horse racing, or silence. She was a talker up close and personal and loud. People heard Carolyn before they saw her, but Carolyn made sure they saw her too. She smoked selling cigarettes. She thought they made her look sexy. She wore 4-inch heels to appear taller. She refused to skimp on makeup, lip gloss, or eyeshadow, stuff like that. So it looks like this Carolyn was in relationship with Pete Rose at the time. And obviously, they wouldn't have her, on the in the chapter. So it says in this chapter that it was something Pete Rose cannot have known as he spied her through the binoculars at the racetrack in Cincinnati in December 1963. All he knew was that she was beautiful, and he made his approach introducing himself. It was Pete Rose. He said the second baseman for the Cincinnati Reds. Caroline had never heard of him. So the courtship that year was swift and explosive. So that's how he got. That's why she's featured in this chapter, because the relationship that they have with each other, them meeting and stuff like that, is him courting her. So that's what it talks about in this chapter. And then it says, on the big day, he met Carolyn at St. William Church on the west side and married her in a Catholic ceremony. So they got married. So they ended up getting married. So this chapter basically talks about that, how he met his wife, some other stuff, but the majority of this chapter is about, his personal situation with, his wife. For the most part, he talks a little baseball, a little bit, but it's mostly his wife. Also talks about how Pete Rose enlisted in the U.S. Army Reserves, that he had less to do with patriotism than self-protection. So he volunteered as a prominent athlete. He could earn privileged status and avoid getting drafted in the war in Vietnam. That me worry about may be coming. So that's what it is. He reported for basic training at Fort Knox in Kentucky. So that's an interesting thing that Pete Rose was in the Army Reserves. All right, so let's move to chapter 15. Now, this chapter talk about how they, put off their honeymoon until March because Pete was dealing with his Army allegations. So they were newlyweds. And then talks about, spring training. That was the greatest time of the year in Tampa. There was sunshine, warmth, and sounds of baseball, stuff like that. Pete Rose is being back in Florida. He wasn't satisfied being Rookie of the Year. He didn't think that his 273 batting average in 1963 was even close to his maximum potential. He wouldn't entertain any talk that he might struggle in his second season due to bad luck. Due to the dreaded sophomore jinx, instead going into the new season, Pete was consumed with three obsessions. He wanted to be a great hitter, a 300 hitter. He wanted to make money, good money. So Pete caught it, and he wanted to prove the press wrong. As far as he was concerned, there was no such thing as a sophomore jinx. Then it talks about in the chapter about how Pete Rose had a terrible April. He batted only 174, and he struggled at times in the field. In one game alone that month, he dropped two pop flies at second base and let a third fall for a hit. Reporters labeled him a happy bridegroom, but an unhappy hitter in May. So he benched Pete. The manager, Hutch, had no choice. So he benched Pete in favor of his old rival, Bobby Claus. Bobby Claus. So Claus had a chance to keep Pete on the bench for good. It was the greatest opportunity for Claus's life. But like blazing game, he failed. He batted 183 in place of Pete by late July, and Cincinnati placed Claus on the waivers, so he's bound for the worst team in baseball, which was the New York Mets at the time, New York Mets. But Pete still wasn't safe. His troubles only mounted, so Hutch was in pain all summer. His cancer was spreading. He took a medical leave for a while, and you had interim manager Dick Sisler seemed to lose control of the coach's fault, throwing punches at each other during range delays at least once. And Pete Rose continued to falter at the plate. At one point in the summer, he was hitting he had 2 for 28. That was his what he was dealing with, a 2 for 28 slump. So he definitely was struggling at the time. The Reds found themselves only 5.5 games out of first place on Labor Day. And then all of a sudden, Pete Rose discovered his playing. He started batting 313 the final month of the season, and they had a shot at pennant in the National League with 2 games left to play. So all the Reds needed to do to secure first and at least a tie for the league crown was hold on to a 3-0 lead against the Philadelphia Phillies at home at Crosley Field in the eighth inning on the second to last day of the season. They needed 6 outs. So the Reds pitcher Jim O'Toole, who had allowed only 3 hits all night, retired the first batter to start the frame, 5 outs to go. The next man hit a soft blooper between Pete at second base and shortstop Leo Chico Cardenas. an athletic young Cuban player who had made his first All-Star team that year. It looked like an easy out, but inexplicably neither Pete nor Cardenas broke hard on the ball. It fell for a hit, and from there it all unraveled. So the Phillies scored four in the inning. The Reds lost the game by a run, and the pennant slipped away. So that wasn't good luck. So that's the storyline that for us. It was in this chapter. So it looks like right here it showed that Hutch, the manager, was there before Thanksgiving. Pete was shipped off to play winter ball in Venezuela, where young players were sent when they weren't meeting expectations. Now a lot of guys were there. Pete's former teammates in Macon, Tommy Helms, Pete's former teammate in Geneva, Tony Perez, the future Hall of Famer, Luis Aparicio, the future leader of the World Series champions Mets, Davey Johnson, a 30-year-old failed player who had never made it to the big leagues, was working his way up as a manager with the Navigantes del Magdalenes, the Magdalene Navigators, George Sparky Anderson. So was there. So interesting. And talk about how the baby that him and Karen had was a baby girl that was born in 1964 after Christmas 1964, and named her Fawn. That's what took place in this chapter. Then this chapter talks about Frank Robinson before the 1966 season. The Reds traded away their best player, Frank Robinson, positive for all the wrong reasons. Uh, Robinson had rankled the Reds front office since 1961 when he was arrested for carrying a concealed handgun after a road dispute in a late night burger joint. Police officers kept calling him boy, and Robinson knew he couldn't have had the gun in his pocket that night. So, but in Cincinnati, after dark, he felt that he needed protection. So he asked his arrest in the Reds front office, told Robinson everything he needed to know about where he stood with the team. So after the season which he had hit 33 home runs, Robinson was gone, trade for nothing, and Pete was befuddled. And he said, and quote, that's an awfully big bat to take out of the lineup. He complained the night of the trade. So changes were coming that will remake the Reds and forever shape Pete's life both on and off the field. 6 months before trading Robinson, the Reds drafted a 17-year-old catcher named Johnny Bench out of Binger, Oklahoma, who was handsome, well-spoken, or Choctaw, and already hitting 23 home runs a year in the finals. Everyone loved him. Scouts called Bench the best prospect they had seen in years, and the young catcher made it onto the Reds roster within months. By the time he arrived, both Tony Perez and Tommy Helms was established there too, and they were playing for the tobacco chewing manager whom Pete had learned to love and making, named Dave Bristol. The Reds finally had a nucleus of young talent. In early 1966, in December, Bill DeWitt announced he was selling the team to a group of investors, the largest of which was the publisher of the Cincinnati Enquirer. The purchase price was $7 million, nearly twice what DeWitt had paid to buy the Reds 4 years earlier. And their new owners made it clear on day one that they intend to win with this team and modernize based off of Cincinnatians in every possible way. They were committed, they said, to moving out of the antiquated facilities at Crosley Field. They were determined to develop a new and better stadium close to the river. They were pushing out Phil Singy within a year. The old front office man would be gone, and they were bringing a new baseball executive who had won a World Series in St. Louis and had a clear vision for the Reds in Cincinnati. His name was Bob Howsam, and he planned to build around the team's 1966 Player of the Year, the player with hustle and local connections. Howsam loved Pete Rose. So that's it. I'm gonna stop right there. So I get to chapter 66, chapter 16 next week. So now, give you an update what's going on in the NBA Finals, Game One right now. Let's look at the score. It's a 20-point lead, 66-46 in favor of the Celtics with 10:07 to go in third quarter. Now it's 18-point lead, 66-48. 9:37 to go in third. 18-point lead right now. Luka Doncic has 19 points, so he's a high man overall. But the most important thing is that the Celtics are dominating the game. They lead by 18 points with 9:21 to go in the third quarter. 9:19 to go, still 18-point lead, 66-48, favor of the Celtics. So we'll see if Mavericks can mount a comeback. Obviously, that's what they're going to have to do. They want to steal game one. Right now, the Celtics are cruising right now. The big storyline is obviously Kristaps Porzingis and his play. He has 18 points, 18 points, 7-9 shooting, coming off the bench. So he's definitely providing powerful punch off that bench in 13 minutes. That's storyline right now. Is his return and the way he's playing is outstanding. So we midway through the third quarter. You know, 66-48, 8:44 to go in the third quarter. 4 minutes have gone by. So see what happens. So now let's get into Honest Day in sports history for June 6th. Let's get into that before I close out. Got 7 minutes left in the show. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. What took place in sports history on June the 6th? Pick my spots. I'm going to talk about everything. Okay, let's start with this. On June 6, 1931, New York Yankees turned triple play, but lose 7-5 to Cleveland Indians as in 1931. Seen that much happen on this day. That was interesting. Okay, in 1848, the New York Yacht Club holds its first annual regatta won by the schooner Cornelia. Okay, here we go. Something. Okay, this is an interesting one. BB Radio Sports. In 1923, on June 6th, Edgar Wallace becomes the first British radio sports journalist reporting on the Derby for the British Broadcasting Company. That's interesting. Okay, 1937, on June the 6th, on this day, Philadelphia Phillies trailing 8-2 to St. Louis forfeited the game. In 1939, on June 6th, New York Giants beat the Reds 17-3 with 5 home runs in the fourth inning. This is an interesting one. On June 6, 1941, in Major League Baseball history, the New York Giants used plastic batting helmets for the first time. June 6th, on D-Day, World War II, all Major League Baseball games were canceled in honor of the D-Day landings in northern France. That's in 1944 on this day. Okay, 1946, the Basketball Association of America is formed in New York City. 1965, on June 6th, the Yankees' Tom Tresh hit 3 consecutive home runs, beating the White Sox 12-0. And Joe Namath retired. He resigned on June 6, 1969, because after Pete Rozelle, the football commissioner at the time of the NFL, said he must sell his stake in a bar. On June 6, 1971, Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid, hits record 22nd and last extra inning home run. 1975, on June 6, Nolan Ryan bid for second no hitter was broken up in the sixth inning. On June 6, 1976, the Boston Celtics beat the Phoenix Suns 4 games to 2 to capture their championship. 76. 1983, on June 6, the Minnesota Twins, drafted pitcher Tim Belcher. I think he was the number one pick. Looks like. In 1987, on June 6, the New York Yankees played their 13,000th game. In 1989, on June 6, the New York Mets turned their first triple play in 7 years, but lost to Chicago Cubs 8-4. In 1992, on June 6, America West Arena opens in Phoenix, Arizona. that was the home to the NBA Phoenix Suns. Eddie Murray of the New York Mets at the time in 1992, the first baseman recorded his 1,510th run batted in during the 15-1 thrashing of Pittsburgh Pirates to pass Mickey Mantle as all-time RBI leader among Major League Baseball switch hitters. So I gave you a lot that took place on this day on June 6th in sports. It's a historical perspective. I think that's basically it. What's worth talking about. Oh, yeah, let's get into this. In 2018, LeBron James eclipses Michael Jordan's record of 109 for most 30-point games in NBA playoff history in Cleveland's Cavaliers' 110-102 Game 3 Finals loss to the Golden State Warriors. That's basically it. So that's it for on this day in sports history for June the 6th. My time is up. Hopefully you enjoyed today's show. I thank all the listeners who tuned in on whether it be Facebook, whether it be YouTube, uh, Twitter, wherever it is that you can find the show on, as far as the platforms. Appreciate the support. Special thanks to those who supported tonight. Be back next week for another action-packed show as I continue to talk about the NBA Finals. So next week, I'm definitely gonna get into that, other things, talking sports. So thank you for all the listeners on Facebook, wherever may concern other platforms, whether it be Facebook or Twitter, YouTube, wherever it is. Thank you so much. Majority of the listeners I've seen have been on YouTube, so that's most where I pay attention to all the listeners. Also, check out my article that I wrote for this week. I wrote an article about the 2024 NBA Finals preview, where I picked the Celtics to win in seven. Why I think they're gonna win in seven. You can go to e5280sports.com and check out the latest article that's posted up. It's right there on that website. So check it out whenever you get a chance. So that's it for episode number 4, the 4th episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, live on Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyles. Until then, talk to you next time, next Thursday night, live on Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyle. Until then, talk to you next Thursday night. Have a good night.